Let's go ahead and check out your next drive right now. Here's a look at 35W northbound. You're seeing that smoke billowing into the air. That's because firefighters have been hard at work on the ground in the Lake Street area battling that fire at the vacant old Kmart building. It's a blaze that's been keeping them busy now on the ground from the air, dousing that fire with water.
It certainly has. Matter of fact, we put the chopper up in the air, so we're waiting to get some aerial shots from that viewpoint. But as Shayla mentioned, we actually have it now. We can take that aerial shot now if we can get that established. But Shayla, as you mentioned, this fire has been burning. We first reported this in our 5 o'clock hour. Here's the aerial shot. So this is the first time we're getting some of this, a look at some of these images here. You can see those fire trucks in the front of the building, but look at the back there. You can see the work that firefighters have cut out for them. Now, the good news that Joseph Dames mentioned with us, our next weather meteorologist, he mentioned that it had not been windy today, which actually helps fire crews assist, because he said when the wind starts to pick up, that's when you see embers that can blow and that can spread the flames. But you can see crews, they definitely have their work cut out for them. This building actually closed in what, 2020?
Yeah.
So it's been vacant for quite some time, and it's been boarded up too.
Absolutely. Unfortunately for firefighters as well, we're not dealing with extreme heat or extreme cold, so they don't have those types of elements to contend with as they're battling those flames. But when you're dealing with this kind of building, there's a lot of places likely where fire can hide. So they've been having to put a lot of water on this. They'll probably likely be watching out for those hot spots as they try to get this situation under control now.
So we had that view from the interstate. We had a view from the sky. Now let's get a report from the ground. Our Barrett Leone, who is live working to get more information. Barrett, bring us up to speed as far as what you're seeing, because you said from your viewpoint, it looked like crews were getting a handle on it. We just took that aerial shot and it looks like they got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, you know, from here, the smoke has definitely lessened. I mean, just within the last half hour, we had thick black smoke coming up. Now it's less here, but I do know that there are still 3 aerial water towers. You can see them behind me coming from fire trucks. So they're obviously still fighting this flame pretty aggressively. We also know, we just checked in with photographer Nick Bokey, who was on the other side of the building. He tells us that that wall has collapsed as well. So we've got multiple walls that are partially collapsed at this building. Like you said, this is the old Kmart building. It's been vacant for quite some time. One correction that I have for myself to give more context to that is it hasn't been vacant the complete 3 years, because at one point it was temporarily housing 2 post office. But we do know that it's been vacant for a little while now. Plans to demolish the building for next spring. We also know that there's a history of homeless encampments around this area, so we're hoping no one was inside at the time, but still quite the aggressive flame here. Gas and electric companies are on scene to assist if needed, but still many first responders on scene fighting this flame, and it appears that they'll be doing that for quite some time. I know we showed some aerial footage. They still got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
And just right where you're located, Barrett, what are you seeing as it relates to closures? We know that we're getting into that hour. A lot of businesses there. Folks will likely be trying to get to work. What can you see for traffic impact?
Yeah, this is a busy area in South Minneapolis. Right now, we're on South First Avenue. That's blocked off from Lake Street. Lake Street is this way. Blaisdell as well is closed off. So those are the main impacts that we're seeing here in this area around Lake Street and the old Kmart building. I imagine they'll be closed, you know, until they get a handle on this thing, because there are so many first responder vehicles who are needed at this area.
You know, Barrett mentioned before the fact that there were squatters who had been in that area. They just cleared an encampment yesterday just across the street. As we give you another aerial shot, you can see those plumes of smoke as firefighters work to get them under control. Several ladder trucks that had gone up since then, because the first call, we know that the first call came in the 5 o'clock hour. We were notified, and that's when we sent our crews out there. But now is when we're actually getting a chance to see some of that damage and destruction now that it's daylight and you can see it. It really gives that perspective. Our Barrett Leone working to get more information for it. Barrett, thank you. We appreciate that live report.
And of course, we're going to continue to monitor this situation throughout the morning and bring you new information as we get it. Stay with WCCO and CBS News Minnesota for continuing coverage throughout the day.